Well, you're driving, you're making all the right decisions behind the wheel, when suddenly there's a moment where you don't quite remember a chunk of the driving that you just did.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of us. 10 News anchor Rachel Lucas checked with the experts who explain the science behind what's happening and how it affects us on the roads.
We all do it. We get behind the wheel, and although we may be alert, paying attention to the roadway, there's suddenly that moment of, how did I get here?
It's a phenomenon called highway hypnosis.
It's a weird feeling to describe. I mean, it's subconscious, and you don't even think that you're doing it, and all of a sudden you're there.
You just dive into this type of hypnosis.
That moment you realize you don't remember what's been happening for the past few moments, and all this time you've been behind the wheel.
Wait, how did we get here? Like, which road do we take?
For me, it's a little scary not to remember seeing the road for the last 20 minutes, but experts say it's actually quite common.
It's described in a lot of different ways, mind wandering or lost in thought.
The Virginia Tech Transportation Institute director, Tom Dingus, oversees the country's largest transportation research institute in the U.S. His team has studied what's actually happening during those moments you don't remember.
Everybody's experienced that phenomenon. Researchers that say you should keep your mind on the road. We personally believe that people can't really do that.
With so much else going on in our lives, work, school, family, you name it, it's not hard to drift into your own thoughts.
You were thinking about all kinds of things. Something that happened at home this morning, or your boss is mean to you.
It's called mental workload. Sometimes we're doing and thinking about too much. And while not remembering a chunk of your driving can be scary, Dingus says, don't worry about it.
The good news is, despite the fact that you don't remember like the last few minutes of your drive, as long as your eyes are on the forward roadway and you're not drowsy, that your crash risk does not increase.
Dingus says their research shows drivers are doing something other than driving 50% of the time. It's all a balancing act. He explains doing too much or even too little is when problems can happen.
The bigger risk is often underload, and that's where, there's not enough to do.
This often happens on those long, open highways, or maybe a drive we do every day. It can lead to fatigue or drowsy driving, which causes between 15 and 20% of all crashes.
As long as you're, actively controlling the vehicle and your eyes are on the forward roadway, you're basically fine, and you can think about whatever you want. But it's when you take your eyes off the road or you're falling asleep, that's when the risk increases.
In Blacksburg, I'm Rachel Lucas, 10 News, working for you.
So,
I've done it.
Yeah, my takeaway from that story is he says it happens, but
Yeah.
your chance for crash is not increased as long as you're not drowsy.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
well, and he said there can be underload too. So, I guess that's probably when you're a little more sleepy and you really want to shut down. But I don't know, I always listen to podcasts and things
yeah, I
on the
listen to
radio.
podcasts, radio, books on tape, whatever.
Keep
So
your mind going.
there are times when you do wonder how you got exactly where you are, but at least you made it there. So
Yeah,
good
made it there
takeaway.
safely.
Yeah.